Hi, my name's Sky. I thought I'd share with you a little bit about what I've been reading this morning in Isaiah. It's reading chapter 58 and 59, and 58 has to do with true fasting. It says true fasting is not just giving up food, but working to serve the orphan and the widow, the ones who God loves, and the poor and the homeless. Giving up your life in order to serve them and make them, to take care of the ones who God loves. And then it goes on to chapter 59. It talks about sin, confession, and redemption. And at the end of that chapter, it really describes and it labels, identifies the kind of person who does what's written in chapter 58, who does give up their life for orphans and widows, who takes care of the needy and the fatherless. And then it goes on to give a couple names of the kind of person that is. And I want to share with you a little bit what that is, what they say about that person. Actually, this is the end of 58. The Lord will guide you always. He will satisfy your needs in a sun-scorched land and will strengthen your frame. You'll be like a well-watered garden, like a spring whose waters never fail. Your people will rebuild the ancient ruins and raise up the age-old foundations. You will be called repairer of broken walls and restorer of streets with dwellings. And he's talking about Israel. He's talking about what Israel is going to be called. He's talking about what the person who follows the Lord is going to be called. You will be called repairer of broken walls. And that really struck a chord with me. Repairer of broken walls. I mean, maybe think about Nehemiah, because that's what Nehemiah did. And also, the broken walls part. Walls in the Bible were seen as, protective parts of a city. They took care of the city. They made sure it didn't get attacked by invaders. They made sure that it wasn't taken advantage of. It made sure it was surrounding. It was protecting. It made me kind of think about the areas in our lives that we have broken walls in. God's put up and designed relationships in our life to be protective barriers around us, to keep us safe. But in most of our lives, walls have been broken down. Whether it's a relationship that's supposed to be strong and take care of me has failed, maybe a father relationship, or a relationship with an authority figure like a pastor who's let me down, and my walls have been broken. So, or someone who's supposed to give me security and supposed to love me, but they've failed. If God's going to call me a repairer of broken walls, that means He's going to use me to provide strength and to provide protection where someone else didn't. God puts up walls in our lives. Not the bad kind of walls that separate us from Him, but the kind of walls that allow us to have communion with Him. And just reading the end of that, Isaiah 58, really makes me, I want to be called a repairer of broken walls. I want to be the kind of person who puts up safety and protective measures so that His people can relate to God. What does it mean to be a repairer of broken walls? I pray this morning that God helps me to see that and makes me that kind of person.